Who really invented the electric bulb? You think Thomas Edison invented the electric bulb? Well, you have been lied to. We have all learned that Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. It's the story we have been told in school, the one we have heard in countless books and documentaries. But here's the thing. Edison didn't invent the electric light bulb. He perfected it, made it practical, and turned it into something that could be mass-produced for households around the world. But he wasn't the first to think of it. In fact, Edison wasn't even the first to build a working bulb. So who really deserves the credit? Let's start with Sir Humphrey Davy, the English chemist who, back in the early 1800s, was playing around with electricity and discovered something called the arc lamp. This wasn't the light bulb we know today, but it was the first form of electric light. Davy's experiment involved passing electricity through carbon, which made it glow. But it was too intense and impractical for everyday use. So while Davy sparked the idea of electric light, it was far from the modern light bulb we are familiar with. Then there's Warren de la Rue, a British scientist, who created a working light bulb in 1840. His design used a platinum filament, which was efficient and could produce light, but the problem was that platinum was too expensive to use for mass production. His work was closer to what we know today, but financial limitations held it back. So Warren de la Rue gets credit for almost inventing the modern light bulb. But his version wasn't going to light up the world just yet. Fast forward to Joseph Swan, an English physicist who, in 1878, was working on a carbon filament bulb. By 1879, he had successfully created a bulb that was practical and could be used in people's homes. The twist here? Swan actually patented his design before Edison did. In fact, some people argue that Swan should be credited as the true inventor of the light bulb. But here's where things get tricky. Edison was not one to back down from a patent dispute. Eventually, Edison entered the scene with his improved filament and vacuum inside the bulb to keep it from burning out too quickly. He made it commercially viable, bringing the light bulb to mass production. Yet the truth is, Edison didn't invent it. He just made it practical for everyday use. And while his contributions were massive in popularizing the light bulb, he wasn't the first person to create one. Now let's talk about the Edison versus Swan battle. Both men filed patents for their versions of the light bulb, and they ended up in a patent dispute over who was the true inventor. Eventually, they reached a compromise. Edison's patent was recognized in the US, and Swan's was honored in the UK. So while Edison's name is what we remember today, Swan's invention might have come first. So who really invented the electric bulb? It's a mix of several brilliant minds, each one adding pieces to the puzzle. Edison's name might be the one that most people know, but we can't forget about Swan, de la Rue, and Davy. Without them, there would have been no light bulb as we know it. Here's a quick question. Wouldn't people still give the credit to Thomas Edison because it's part of general knowledge now?